Hello, everyone, and welcome into Senior Living Live. My name is Melissa. As always, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Well, we are discussing the art of problem solving. Okay, when choosing a senior living community, selecting a place where you know the staff will hear you, they will see you, and they will really listen to you and your concerns and address your problems is and should be at the top of your priority list. The good news is that it tops our priority list too at the Arbor Company. And I've got a special guest here today that's going to talk about this topic, which I think is so important. Bill Hickey joins me now. He is the senior care counselor at Arbor Terrace, Glenview in Illinois. Bill, how are you today?
I'm great today, Melissa. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. I know it's a little chilly out there. We here in the South,
we're in Chicago. Yep.
we're a little chilly, but not as bad as you guys. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, Bill.
Yep. I spent over 30 years in the travel industry. I was lucky enough to own a travel agency and thoroughly enjoyed it. Luckily, I sold it about 5 years ago. So I didn't go through COVID with it because it was a very interesting time.
Yeah.
But I kind of went from travel into senior living. It was something that I kind of researched, looked into to try to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up, and got into senior living. And quite frankly, from the first day, I've had a blast. I've enjoyed it and taken a lot of the things from travel and been able to incorporate them here into senior living.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of parallels there. And I know that we're going to talk a little bit about that, especially when it comes to travel and the hospitality business and what you're doing for Arbor and what that sort of side of things looks like. They're very similar. Now, when people come to you, it's typically because they've got an emergency, right? Something happened to themselves or to a loved one, and they're looking for a living situation where they can receive additional help. Now, there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with that, right, Bill? And for people like you and the staff there at Arbor and Arbor Communities, you've seen it all and you've managed it all. So can you tell us, tell our viewers why that sort of experience matters?
Sure. And I found, with every day that it matters even more. Picture the owner of a travel agency and all the different things that can happen and go wrong when you're traveling in the world nowadays. I've probably seen it all from that standpoint. One of the things that, one of my traits is I'm pretty calm. So things don't get to me that much. I've had people stranded, overseas. They need to get back for medical issues. Just they need to get back. I've actually toured. I had 85 of my closest friends in Italy, and an 80-year-old lady blew out her shoulder, and we needed to get her back to the United States ASAP. And I got her on a plane 12 hours later back to Chicago, but it was an $800 cab ride and a 4-hour ride to the Milan airport. So I've kind of seen it all in travel. And I think that prepared me for, as you said, the problem solving or the fire drills that could come up here. When all of a sudden an emergency happens, you got to figure it out. You got to navigate it. And the good news is for the people that are sometimes sitting in front of me, we've done it before. I've done it before. The team has done it, and we can kind of take over and help them. So when the fire drill happens, we kind of rally the troops and get to work.
Yeah, nothing more important. And we've all experienced situations that can raise our anxiety levels. And there's nothing more important than taking those problems to somebody who is calm and level-headed and has answers. We love that so much. Yeah, well, the problem solving obviously does not stop once somebody moves into a community. That's actually when it just really begins. It's ongoing literally every single day. So what are some examples that you can give us of situations that have come up that you and your team have been able to tackle?
Well, we've been everything from, we have literally driven to doctor's offices to help navigate the physician assessment and get it completed. Because sometimes the physician's office doesn't understand the importance that resident's not coming through the door without it. We've tracked down COVID tests, we've tracked down movers, any aspect of the move-in process. We've kind of been there and we're more than willing to take over. And it's not just me, it's the team. We've had some families deliver things at the back door, and they figured out that, oh, that was great that they put some furniture in a truck at the house, but they don't have the second half of that here. So John and Mitch, our maintenance guys, and even myself, we've moved furniture into apartments if that's what it took.
I love it. Yeah, but the interesting thing about this particular position, as maybe opposed to travel, when you're dealing with somebody, the actual individual, in this case, there's problem solving that extends to family members that don't even live at the community. So how do you solve those problems?
We have family members that are, out of town, and they're concerned about, mom or dad. And you need to get on the phone, you need to get on the Zoom and just kind of calm them down and explain to them that here's what's going on, here's what we're going to do, here's how we're going to solve that problem. And it's really just that compassion, that empathy needs to come through. And you need to convince them that this is really the best thing for not only them, but our future resident, their mom or dad.
Yeah, we really saw this a lot during COVID, right? Where, I mean, staff was really, they were the connection
Mhm.
to that particular person in the outside world and their family members, because their family members couldn't come visit. So it has just been, that additional step that staff
Mhm.
members have had to take has been so vital and so important. So we appreciate all of you for doing that.
Well,
um,
we need to, help the family understand that, if mom or dad or mom and dad are living at home and that's really the only socialization they're getting, we need to help them understand that now they're coming into a building with, 40, 50, 60 other like-minded people, that it's going to be far better for them, and they can relax a little because now they can know that mom and dad are safe. They're having a good time. I like to say that, here at Arbor Terrace, it's like adult camp. We feed you, we entertain you, we do your laundry, we do your housekeeping. All you've got to do is participate and have fun. You're safe here. And that isn't always the case at home, depending on what was going on there. So once they come through our doors, the family can kind of relax, take a deep breath and go, okay, it's all good now.
Yeah, and I've heard that so many times from people who made that step and were so nervous to do so. They felt guilty.
Mhm.
And then they just said, wow, I got my life back. I got
Yep,
my life back. That makes me a better daughter. It makes me a better spouse. It makes me a better
absolutely.
person in general, when I'm with that person now, as opposed to trying to be a caretaker, which, is out of a lot of people's, it's above their pay grade. They just can't, they're
Mhm.
not capable of doing it at the level that you and your staff can at Arbor. So finally, Bill, I think this has been a good conversation. When it's clear that hospitality obviously is top priority, right? It is the gold standard for thriving communities. How do you see that evolving even more over the next 5 to 10 years?
I think it's going to grow even more. You're having just the population's aging more, and you're seeing that there's a bigger need, for what we do, for senior living communities where mom and dad can come here and enjoy themselves, and they're used to, going out and staying at nice resorts and things, and that's pretty much what they want. I mean, I moved somebody in a couple months ago that, I walked by, the dining room and heard, the husband say to the wife, this is really a great hotel, but there's no pool. And we don't have pools in Chicago at our communities. But he thought he was at a resort. And that's great. That's what we, got him to understand. And then when we explained that comment to the family that day, because they were, a little apprehensive at first that mom and dad were going to like it. It really helped them to understand that they were in a much better place now.
Yeah, yeah, and that's so important. I think at the end of the day, people just want to feel taken care of, and they
Mhm.
want to feel like they matter and that their problems matter. And it's just wonderful to have people like yourself who have that attention to detail and have been through the fire drills and have that experience behind them, that they can be calm, cool, and collected when somebody comes to them with a problem, and they can get that problem solved. So we
Yep.
certainly
That's what we're
thank
here
you.
for.
Yeah, that's what we thank you for. And we love that so much. And when we thank you for taking the time to share that information, which I think will help some people understand what senior living really is all about. So thank you so much, Bill.
My pleasure. Glad I could help.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed this interview with Bill, you can find much more on our website at www.seniorlivinglife.com. There you can find So many videos all about senior living 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As always, we appreciate you watching Senior Living Live. Have a great day, everybody.